Hello everyone, and thank you for choosing Danomics. In this video, I'm going to discuss some of the basics of a decline curve analysis project, how to perform manual overrides on your decline curve analysis, and how to create a multi-segment decline. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to start off by changing a couple of methods and things on the filter here to help us highlight some of the potential issues that you may see when performing a decline curve analysis. I'm going to start off by filtering to the Turner formation, and I'm doing this just to filter down to a smaller set of wells where we have like-for-like production. And I'm also going to change my start date method to max for the moment. And you'll see that when I do this, it does change how my decline works. And just to make sure that you know what well that we're working on, this is the DILTS, D-I-L-T-S, 4124TH. The API number on this is 4900562347. You can always get to this well by typing in that API number or by typing in DILTS and selecting the 41-24. The reason I've chosen this well is it highlights a few potential issues that you may run into when performing declines. Let's take a look at these. The first potential issue is that you'll notice as the well is declining, we don't have a great fit on the later time data. You may wish to choose this by manually overriding some of the parameters. For example, you may think that a B factor of 1.3 is too high for this well. If we want to change this to, let's say, 0.7, we can do this by typing it so into the box, and we can see that it changes this slope. You'll notice that as we did this, it also changed the QI and DI parameters. Let's take a look at that again. Initially, the QI was 977 barrels per day, and the DI was around 5.92. But as I changed the B factor, the software helps us maintain the goodness of fit to the overall production profile by updating the other parameters. So this is how you can go in and you can make changes to the declines. You can do this for each parameter, QI, DI, and B factor, for each fluid type. So let's say we wanted to set similar B factors for both the gas and for the water. And we could do that by simply making those changes. So that's one way in which we can make changes. Another way that we can make changes is by changing the start date method. So you'll notice that we've chosen max here. Let's zoom in a little bit to our production range. And it's starting at max because this is where we have the maximum observed rate for our fluids. Now notice that's the case for our oil and our gas phases. For water, the decline is actually starting later in life. If we change this to first decline, now all of our fluids will start declining at the same point. This is because we've observed the first decline in the production rate for each fluid at the same time. And if we choose best fit, we'll see what it does is for each fluid, it chooses a unique start date with the goal to maintain the goodness of fit to the overall available data. Okay, we're going to change this back to max here. Okay, you can notice on this well that we see a jump in production here. Now, although this could be due to something like a change in how the well is being operated, it could also be due to something like a change in the pump rate. It could be a change to the producing formation. Perhaps there's been a workover. We don't know in this case. However, maybe we wish to understand how the decline has changed as we go from this early time production that lasted for about the first 2 years to the later time production. To do this, we can right click on our chart and say add segment. When we do this, we now see that we have two declines here. We have an initial decline, and then we have a secondary decline. And I'm going to remove the custom overrides that we made here. And in this case, we can see that although we got a bump in rate, we're not seeing a significant change in the forecasted volumes. I'm going to go through and I'm going to put those overrides back on. So let's see what this does. We can see that in this case, it's changing our initial decline here, and we're seeing how it's changing our secondary decline. Maybe we wish to go put a similar B factor on that. And now we can observe what our cumulative production was for the initial volumes and our EUR based on those initial declines. And we can see what we've added with that secondary decline. So we can say incrementally, we've added around 43,000 barrels of cumulative production. That's the area under the curve above the original forecast. And we'll have added around 52,000 barrels of EUR through this additional activity that we performed on the well. So that's how we can go through and perform an additional decline on our data. And of course, you can see a rolled up version of this when we see our total our cumulative revenue, and our EUR. Okay, so that's it for this video. We showed you how to override parameters on a well-by-well basis. We showed you how to change the start method and the effect that that had on our production forecast. And we showed you how we could add a multiple segment decline to our well so that we can see distinct decline histories. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at support@danomics.com. Thank you.